What's good, y'all? It's Jay here. I'm gonna get into some more life of young boy, the rise of young boy, obviously. You already know. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and we're gonna get into it. All right, there we go.
While Youngboy's star is beginning to rise, the deadly war on the streets of Baton Rouge is raging on. After departing from the crew TBG, Top Boy Gorilla, Youngboy and his Never Broke Again or NBA collective would become bitter rivals with the former crew. And this situation was only complicated further by the ongoing drama between TBG and their original rivals BBG, Bottom Boy Gorillas, a crew which Youngboy's cousin Boozilla was a prominent member of. Despite the two apparently having a falling out in 2015, it would seem that by 2016, Boozilla and Youngboy's NBA crew had made things right, as Boozilla would post on Twitter that he'd forgiven, as well as tweeting warning people not to play with BBG or NBA, suggesting that these two crews were in alliance against TBG and any of their affiliates. But things would all come to a head for these warring groups at the end of 2016. On July the 16th, 2016, Youngboy's cousin Boozilla drops the song Forgive Me, where he's dissing TBG and repping BBG, with lyrics in the song dissing another local rapper by the name of FL Dusa, saying Dusa is scared to walk through the South and that they're laying down the law in their area. It would seem that this lyric was taken as a personal challenge by his opposition, as just after midnight on November the 2nd, 2016, Youngboy's cousin, 18-year-old BBG Boozilla, real name Keandre Ricks, would be riding his bike near the 2000 block of Nebraska Street, less than a block from his family home. And it was here where he was targeted by gunmen who shot him multiple times in the upper torso and left him dead in the middle of the street. Boozilla's mother would go on to do a distraught interview with WAFB News after reports of the brutal killing became public.
You gotta bury your child. This is so wrong when people kill kids.
Kenya Taylor is still grieving more than a month after her son, 18-year-old Keandre Ricks, was shot and killed just steps away from his Nebraska Street home.
It's like I'm dreaming and I haven't woke up yet. Like I had a bad dream. I'm just waiting on the Lord to wake me up.
Taylor walked us over to where her son's body was found, a place she's visited often, trying to make sense of the senseless killing.
Then this way he must have fell it right here, because they had blood all right here.
Now, after this shooting, things get very complicated. It's widely believed that the murder of Boozilla was in connection with the ongoing feud that he had going with FL Dusa, with the majority of the comments on Boozilla's music video Forgive Me seeming to mock him, saying that he said Dusa is scared to walk through the South, and suggesting that this caused somebody to come through and take his life. Now, despite the differences they may have had in the past, naturally the murder of Boozilla would have devastating effects on his cousin Youngboy and other members of NBA and BBG. So, unsurprisingly, it didn't take long for those on Boozilla's side to attempt to get revenge for his murder. Boozilla was killed around midnight on Wednesday the 2nd November 2016, and retaliation would come around 9.5 hours later, when around 9:30 AM, on the 2000 block of Kentucky Street, just a couple of blocks away from where the fatal shooting of Boozilla occurred, a vehicle containing Youngboy and 3 of his NBA affiliates pulls up and starts shooting. Unfortunately, this attempt at revenge ends up going wrong, and somebody from Youngboy's group ends up getting shot in the neck, allegedly NBA Joe.
Police find a man suffering from a gunshot wound to the neck, saying he was shot in a different neighborhood just a few streets away.
With rumors circulating, debating whether or not it was friendly fire from Youngboy or his side hitting Joe, or the targets of their gunfire, returning fire, and connecting. And years later, the police report and suggesting that this come around 9
to the neck, saying he was shot in a different neighborhood just a few streets away.
With rumors circulating.
There's this story going around saying YB shot NBA Youngboy in the neck. That's not true. The people YB was showing at in 2016, NBA shot NBA Joe in the neck, not YB. Joe got shot and then they rolled out of the car. And then the car crashed. NBA Joe was the one who told on YB. Even the judge said YB didn't hit anyone in the shooting. He did. I do remember hearing about something like that. Because he was like, the judge was like, thank God you got terrible aim. I'm like, what? Motherfucker, be Call of Duty out in this bit.
Debating whether or not it was friendly fire from Youngboy or his side hitting Joe, or the targets of their gunfire, returning fire, and connecting. And years later, the police report.
That's what it is. It's emotional shooting. That's all. He just gotta shoot normally. He hit his ass.
The incident would even suggest that Youngboy himself had been firing from the vehicle with an assault rifle.
Ooh,
regardless of exactly who was
surprise.
responsible, at this point the getaway car flees the scene, with the shooters and the injured man driving to the area of May and East Lakeshore Drive. Ultimately, this car would end up getting a flat tire and crashing at the LSU Lakes. Here, the shooters flee, leaving the injured man in his vehicle, where he's fortunately found by police and given medical attention. Naturally, it didn't take long for details of these outrageous back-to-back shootings to hit the news.
At this hour, there are a lot of questions remaining around two Baton Rouge shootings. One left a teenager dead, the other ended with the victim wounded at LSU Lakes.
Possibly 3 different scenes, and all 3 may be connected. That's what Baton Rouge police are trying to figure out. They've been interviewing witnesses, but so far they do not have any suspects. Just after midnight, Baton Rouge police went out to Nebraska Street. 18-year-old Keandre Ricks was found dead, lying in the street, shot multiple times in the chest. Neighbors in the area tell us they saw a silver-colored Hyundai with 3 people inside driving around the area late night and into this morning. Then, shortly after 9:30 this morning, police get a call from a man shot once in the neck around the LSU Lakes. When they finally found him, he was in a silver-colored Hyundai. He was transported to the hospital and listed in stable condition as of now. Baton Rouge police have said the shooting did not start here at the lakes. Instead, they're looking to see if 3 different scenes are all connected. The first was at Nebraska, well, just 8 streets over, or 0.4 miles away. Around 9:30 this morning, police say a man was shot in the neck. He or the suspect then drove 1.4 miles to East Lakeshore in May around the LSU Lakes and called police for help. This is not a random shooting. They believe the shooter and victim actually did know each other.
Surprisingly, however, the violence was still not over, and the following day, on the 3rd of November 2016, at roughly 9:49 a.m., shooters would return to the street where Boozilla lived with his family and was killed, with officers nearby claiming to have heard 37 gunshots, apparently fired by 2 shooters, who then fled the scene in a getaway vehicle. They would leave 2 homes on the street riddled with bullets, and at this point, the violence in Baton Rouge, held just in this street alone, was spiraling out of control. And at a certain point, the danger was so high that the authorities placed the local school on lockdown out of fear that further shootings would affect the children in the local community.
A number of schools in East Baton Rouge Parish are on lockdown for separate reasons today. We start with the 3 schools that were also placed on lockdown yesterday.
Police are still on scene here at the intersection of Nebraska and East Harrison Street. They're looking into reports of shots fired earlier today. Now you can see details are still very limited, but much of the investigation is centered around this white home here right near the intersection of East Harrison and Nebraska Street. This is the latest in a rash of recent shootings in this area over the past few days, including one that left an 18-year-old dead. The teen was found shot to death Wednesday in the 2000 block of Nebraska Street. That incident happened around midnight. Then yesterday morning around 9:30, a man was shot in the neck on Kentucky Street, which is just a couple of blocks from the spot where that fatal shooting occurred. The victim left the area in a car and then parked around the LSU Lakes to call for help. These recent violent incidents near Nebraska have left some residents feeling uneasy.
At this point, even people living on this street were being interviewed by the news, telling them that it's like living in hell.
I live on this street, and this is about the worst street to live on. You say living in hell? This is hell right here.
She said, it's the worst street to live on. She don't want to be nowhere near that area, hell no.
Young folks don't have no respect for old Elizabeth.
At some point, the shooting would stop, the smoke would clear, and local investigators would finally be able to piece together exactly what had happened and putting those involved in handcuffs. A 17-year-old man by the name of Trayshawn Coates would be arrested and charged with second-degree murder.
I read that too fast. That shit said trash can for a second. I said, damn, his name is Trash. What? Whoa.
The killing of Boozilla, along with a 27-year-old man by the name of Monty Carey. This was reported in The Advocate that also published an interview with Boozilla's mother. In it, she would claim that since the killing, her other children's grades have fallen in school and that they're suffering behavioural issues. And I thought that this was an important detail to include, because you have to remember that when somebody gets killed in a gang feud, it starts a chain reaction, and ultimately, this cycle of violence affects far more than—
He not lying, like, it's just certain things that you just shouldn't do. For real.
just the victims. Whether it's their innocent relatives suffering depression following the incident, or surviving friends who vow to commit acts of violence in revenge, a vicious cycle is started when that first killing happens that only accelerates with more retaliation, dragging more and more innocent people into this deadly cycle of violence. Anyway, despite the rumors that FL Dusa was involved in the killing of Boozilla after he dissed him on the song Forgive Me, Dusa, real name Renard Clifton, would not be connected to this incident officially, though theories would circulate online suggesting that he was the one that sent the hit. He would remain free following this incident, going on to release songs like Straight Facts. However, he would end up in jail on a separate attempted murder charge stemming from a double shooting on the 3rd of June 2018, which we'll go into in detail later. But with the shooters of Boozilla in cuffs, the Baton Rouge police would next be tasked with finding those NBA members who slid the following day, with one member who got shot in the neck already in the arms of law enforcement. Their next job was to get their hands on Youngboy himself. A warrant was issued for his arrest, and he would be tracked down by authorities, being arrested on November the 28th, being taken into custody by US Marshals just before he could get on stage at a show in Austin, Texas, in dramatic scenes that were even caught on camera.
Hey, get inside, get inside. Hey, get the hell inside, get the fuck inside.
Youngboy was charged on suspicion of attempted first-degree murder from the alleged drive-by shooting, while NBA Big B, real name Trulondrick Norman, was also involved in the shooting but wouldn't get arrested for his role in it until 2019. There was also NBA Ben 10, real name Ben Fields, who would also be identified as having participated in this drive-by shooting.
I'm about to say, I ain't gonna lie, out of everybody, of course Youngboy too, but I ain't gonna lie, that nigga Ben, I be feeling like he hit shit. I don't know why, I feel like that nigga Ben hit shit, boy.
As a result, following the arrest of the NBA crew and Youngboy himself, the local news would begin to report on this dramatic takedown of one of Baton Rouge's most promising rappers.
17-year-old rapper Kentrell Gaulden, better known by his stage name NBA Youngboy, is behind bars tonight after being taken into custody by federal authorities before a concert in Austin, Texas.
Tonight, police say they've arrested 17-year-old Kentrell Gaulden, a rapper known by his stage name NBA Youngboy, in connection to a drive-by shooting on Kentucky Street. Detectives believe those shootings may have been in retaliation to Rick's death and say more arrests are possible as they continue to investigate.
At this point, Youngboy would be taken back to Louisiana and booked into prison with a $200,000 bond being set. But the Baton Rouge police weren't done seeking justice yet, as the final piece of the puzzle would fall into place once police announced an arrest in the third shooting, which occurred on Boozilla Street the day after NBA members had attempted to get revenge for his death the previous night, with cops identifying 20-year-old Derek Geis, who was taken into custody, accused of being the getaway driver for two other shooters, being charged with attempted murder, attempted second-degree murder, aggravated criminal damage of property, illegal use of a weapon, and simple criminal damage to property. And he would ultimately end up pleading down to a lesser weapons charge and getting only 2 years in jail, with cops ultimately identifying one of the shooters in the case as Michael Odenyinma, as well as, shockingly, Trayshawn Coates, that very same person who was charged for the Boozilla murder just the day before. Which means that if true, the person that killed Boozilla did it, got spun on by NBA, and still went back the very next day and shot up that same block again. But unfortunately, due to him being just age 17, there was never any public reporting on whether or not he was found guilty for these crimes or sentenced. The murder of Boozilla and days of deadly violence that followed truly rocked this Baton Rouge community, as well as those connected to the victims. Many NBA members would get RIP Boo tattoos on their necks, and others would be seen toting guns at Boozilla's grave. Regular celebrations would be held called Boo Day on his birthday in his honor, and at the 2018 celebration of Boozilla's life, his mother would speak to a crowd, delivering some poignant words to a number of friends and family who had gathered in the area.
It's just my baby time to go. Yes, it hurts. But the good Lord called him home, so he in a better place, and if they asked him to come back here, he wouldn't even want to come back here. He just gonna wait on us to come up. That's what y'all gotta do good, so y'all can make it to heaven. You just for the Lord. I know a lot of people out here doing a lot of stupid things, and I ain't gonna tell y'all don't handle y'all business, but if they ain't coming at you, don't worry about it. But if they come at you, you handle your business. That's all I can tell you. But all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pray for all of y'all. Pray y'all make it home safe, and pray for y'all every day. Because I don't want nobody to go through what I'm going through, because this really hurts. This like about to send me insane. Like some days I do good, and some days I have my bad days, and today just a good day. But I don't want to see nobody mama going through what I'm going through, nobody's siblings, nobody's family, nothing, because that really hurts. They like when somebody do things like that, change the person's whole life. You think you don't hurt that person, you ain't hurting that person because it ain't meant for them to be here, they gonna leave here. So that person at peace, but that person's family is suffering. So all I want y'all to do is do good, get y'all education, be the best y'all can be. The sky's the limit. Whatever y'all want to do, y'all do.
It's important to remember that no matter how many songs or social media posts glamorize the sliding that goes on between these gangs, behind this are grieving families, mothers and siblings who have to live with the consequences of these split-second decisions. And as she said, when somebody dies in the gang wars, that person who died is at peace. It's everyone else who was innocent to the original beef that has to live on with the grief of someone else's impulsive decisions. Sadly, it would take many years for Youngboy to realize the consequences of the violence playing out in his music and in his life. But for now, he would be stuck in the system waiting for a chance to plead his case in front of a judge. At the time of these charges, Youngboy was only 17 years old, but Louisiana is one of the few states in the US where 17-year-olds can be charged as adults. And so, Youngboy spent December 2016 to August 2017 incarcerated, waiting for updates on his case. But, at least for the fans, it wasn't all bad, because while Youngboy was locked up, his management team got to work and did their best to keep his music career alive. They created an updated version of his previous project, Before I Go, re-releasing it as Before I Go Reloaded, removing the songs Stuck With Me, Change, and All Night, and adding that 21 Savage remix of Murder, along with the track Bands and Fact. Then, on April the 14th, 2017, the label also released a reloaded version of his Mind of a Menace 3 mixtape, which removed the Murder remix with 21 Savage because they just put it on the Before I Go Reloaded mixtape, as well as taking off the tracks Life and Booting in this, and adding the tracks Blowing Up and Just Made a Play featuring Moneybagg Yo. So, while Youngboy was sitting in jail, all of these songs that were being released were picking up heat in the streets, and fans would eagerly await his release. And eventually, to some people's surprise, Youngboy was actually able to cut a pretty favourable deal with prosecutors, copping to the lesser charge of aggravated assault with a firearm. On August the 22nd, 2017, Youngboy was sentenced to a term of 10 years suspended prison time and 3 years of active supervised probation, which essentially meant that he was able to get out of jail and return to his music career. But the potential to have to go back and serve a full 10 years in prison would now follow him around for 3 years, along with a probation officer who would be closely supervising his every move going forward. In addition to that, he was also ordered to pay a fine of $5,000 and do 250 hours of supervised community service, which apparently even included doing an anti-violence PSA, which to the disappointment of fans everywhere, never seemed to actually surface publicly. But Youngboy wouldn't simply waltz out of the courtroom, because apparently during that sentence, he had what was described as a tense but respectful back and forth with District Judge Bonnie Jackson. Apparently during the case, she admonished him for going out with his boys looking for trouble and finding it. But Youngboy, to his credit, kept his cool during this exchange, taking full responsibility for everything that had gone down in the incident. Judge Jackson went on to say,
"That's how you gotta do it." Yeah, it was me. Ain't no point in lying anyway.
That she didn't care about Youngboy's celebrity status and suggested that his rap music wasn't helping the high rates of violence in the community that he was coming out of. The judge would tell him directly that the genre of music that he makes has a lot to do with the mindset that people have, suggesting that it normalized violence. Apparently, Youngboy actually interjected at this point, reminding the judge that nobody had actually died in the incident, with the judge clapping back, saying that he's lucky that he's such a bad aim and that he wasn't facing first-degree murder charges. It's also worth pointing out that the court did hear about how Youngboy had been trying to make a difference in his community by looking after his mother, buying her a home, and giving out school supplies to local children.
That's all it really was, bro. He just got bad aim. He need to go back on Call of Duty. Just hop on back on Call of Duty. He gonna get that shit. But he don't need to now. I'm saying, like, that nigga was nice. You know what I'm saying? He was about it.
The judge would then make a smearing and condescending remark about the fact that Youngboy had 3 kids at 17 years old. In response to that dig by the judge, Youngboy promised to do right by his family, and once Youngboy accepted his plea, he would be released from jail ahead of the actual sentencing, being welcome homed by hotshot rappers like Boosie and Young Dolph. Youngboy would be seen fresh home on social media, being greeted by his NBA crew, and rocking the same Burberry button-up shirt that he was booked for the crime in.
Young Dolph is official. Shout out by Young Dolph is official.
Bro, man. Say where my new boys at, man. On Montana. What up, Meg, man? What's up, baby? I'm cool, man. Austin, Texas, man. We got free with the deal.
Being greeted outside jail by Montana in a white Maybach.
Man, it's the best feeling ever. We got KD right there, we got Davis, we got Max Harden. Man, you know it real, man.
Youngboy was fresh home, and music would be the first thing on his mind. He would be seen filming freestyles in the same outfit and surrounded by his crew and manager Big Dump.
Count 3 into the I don't want to chat in the studio with Shade. In the studio with Strange on the grind every day. I've been chasing that sack real 38, baby. I'm from College Track.
His first major release since his release would be the biggest song of his career so far, the track Untouchable. This was a big single where Youngboy spoke optimistically about making it out of the struggle of the Baton Rouge streets and vowing to make the most of this opportunity that he had to make it through music, and declaring his intention to move out of Baton Rouge to Los Angeles, where he would hope that he no longer needs to carry a gun. Untouchable ended up hitting number 95 on the Billboard charts, becoming Youngboy's first solo single to chart in the United States. By August 2017, Youngboy was back in the studio, ready to focus on his music career, despite the prying eyes of a probation officer set to be following him for the coming years. So, following the successful release of Untouchable, Youngboy's team would drop his latest mixtape, AI Youngboy, on August 4th, 2017, a project which would end up landing at the impressive number 24 on Billboard's 200 album chart. This also included another popular single, the track No Smoke, which surpassed Untouchable and ended up landing at number 61 on Billboard's Hot 100 singles chart. Youngboy was storming the charts and seemingly attracting the attention of both labels and other rappers. Funnily enough, on the song GG, Youngboy seemed to suggest that Chicago rapper Lil Durk and his collective had tried to sign him to his crew and record label, OTF, or Only the Family. But Youngboy would have bigger ideas than signing to another rapper, as only days after Youngboy's sentencing went public, it would then be announced that he had officially signed to Atlantic Records in a huge 5-album contract reportedly worth $2 million. And Youngboy would seemingly celebrate this deal by purchasing a tiger and telling fans that he got paid a big bag.
I'm like, you pay me.
You pay me.
I got that bag, I'm getting paid for everything I do.
So, despite losing his cousin Boozilla and very nearly losing his freedom attempting to get revenge, in the end, Youngboy would escape a long prison sentence, returning to the music career that was buzzing before he went to jail and take.
I heard when they niggas be buying tigers, that shit be stupid. Like, I heard that. No, cause that nigga Moneybag bought one too, and he said he ain't even like that shit, cause he was like, you spending racks on just feeding him. Like, damn, bro, cause he got think it's a tiger. Eventually, he gonna grow in to be big enough to fuck you up, and then you thinking that he, I can't even explain it. You thinking that he not gonna be, you thinking he still gonna be that little kitten? No, he gotta be in the wild, bro. He has, or in a cage.
Taking it to new heights, landing chart positions on Billboard and a multi-million-dollar deal with a major record label. Things were on the up for the NBA crew, but despite the wins they were having in the industry, there would still be tension in the streets, as Youngboy had a whole host of enemies who would be dissing him while he was locked up, and desperate to see him fall when he was released, with the NBA crew ultimately taking drastic action to protect their star prospect. When Youngboy began picking up steam as a rapper in Baton Rouge, naturally, he attracted a lot of opposition. After parting ways with former street crew turned label TBG, Top Boy Gorilla, he would find himself at war with their main artists, G Money and Fredo Bang. But they wouldn't be the only enemies that Youngboy would make in the city. In November 2015,
I remember when I heard about that nigga G Money dying, I didn't even know who he was, and then I listened to his music. I'm like, he kind of snapping low key. That's kind of what put me on to, what's his name, Baton Rouge, you know what I'm saying, Louisiana, you know what I'm saying, beef and shit.
2015, Youngboy dropped a song called Homicide, a collaboration with another Baton Rouge rapper by the name of Scotty Kane. They would appear together on the song and in the music video, and apparently Youngboy would become friends with Kane. But later, they had a falling out, with some suggesting that Kane may have felt slighted by lyrics on his song So Long, where Youngboy rapped that he blew up in his city and that he was getting views even without the song with Scotty. This was followed by an IG live clip where Youngboy would rap lyrics saying that someone changed on him. Apparently at some point, Scotty Kane caught Youngboy in a studio and slapped him, later taking to social media to explain his side of the story, saying that Youngboy had begged him for a verse and after asked him for money for shoes, and saying that he was trying to get close to Scotty Kane's crew because he had fallen out with TBG, with Kane even going as far as to tell Youngboy if he really has money, then send a hit and kill him.
I'ma address the situation like a man. Your bitch ass rolled my cousin. Y'all came to the studio, he begged me to do the first verse. I did not want to do it. I thought about it. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get a chance. I did the verse. Your bitch ass asked me to put some on your shoes. You not with my label, bitch ass, so you. I'm doing what I'm going to have with you on shoes and videos for. It was over there riding TBG, they wanted to raw your ass out. Now your ass come trying to rap mafia music. Now you get on and do all this. You got bread, kill. Drop your bread, man. What the? Don't do all that. Kill me. Come see me. Living like that.
See, that's where his dumb ass shouldn't have said nothing. He was good all the other shit. He shouldn't have said, kill me, dumbass.
But you know me. I'm living like that all day, every day. You know how I'm coming.
In response to this deadly threat from Kane, Youngboy would reply to this by rapping more lyrics from the song Gravity and showing that he had goons behind him, ready to shoot.
Yeah, and I don't owe nobody but my mama, boy, and my they was doing super behind me, boy. Remember, I ain't had nothing to eat, I go steal for it. Show you my bank account, I swear I got 6 figures large. Around me, they hating, probably won't snake me for it. These under the skies, living under the board. I hate these they wasn't made for it. Lord, please don't mistake me, play gon' die, cause I ain't going for it. In this life that I'm living, I pray I make it through the night. As I ride through my city, I'm thinking, looking at the lights.
Youngboy would appear to address the incident on the song Who You Supposed to Be, admitting that he was sent an address where he pulled up and where he was confronted by 3 people, and seemingly admitting to crying when they pulled out guns on him, but still mocking them for not using the guns, and ending the track seemingly threatening to kill Scotty Kane. Later on, Pablo El Chapo, who had apparently intervened in this incident where guns had been pulled on Youngboy in a studio, posted a clip to social media seemingly confirming that Youngboy cried and suggesting that he had saved his life.
But I do know, little young boy, when you pulled them rods on your ass, you was crying in that studio. I saved your life.
But see, this is kind of how you know he was on some shit, cause niggas had to address it. Oh yeah, niggas had you crying in the fucking, man, you don't shut your ass up, boy. Like, I get it, nigga, he was crying, but if you had a pistol in your face, boy, and he shot you in your leg or something, you be crying too. Or you be hurt talking about something. Don't do it. No, nigga. Exactly. You don't want him to do that shit. So why would he want you to do that shit, dumbass? Like, come on, bro. Nigga just be saying shit.
My younger man, leave that slide, bro. That crying, man. Crying in front of his manager.
And then he gonna act like he got like he was the one doing it. No, nigga.
Man, slide. He ain't about that gang shit. Y'all asked him to fight, he won't fight. Then when he brought up the gun, we could do it with the gun. 2 or 3 guns in your face, you was crying. Ass boy. Chapo saved.
Kane would actually respond to Youngboy in a diss track of his own, only days after his cousin Boozilla was gunned down. Scotty Kane would drop the Youngboy diss track NBA Smoke, produced by prolific TBG producer Austin on the Track. On this track, Kane would return Youngboy's death threats with threats of his own, as well as saying that somebody killed Boozilla and he didn't do anything about it. Kind of an ironic lyric, considering that a month after this song dropped, Youngboy would indeed be charged with double attempted murder, attempting to do something about Boozilla. But while Youngboy was in jail for doing exactly that, Scotty would drop a video on Instagram seemingly distancing himself from this beef.
Hey look, man, I'm on the road to success, man. I ain't with none of that. Y'all can have that shit. I ain't with that bitch. I ain't trying to kill none of you. I ain't trying to do none of that with none of you, man.
See, like, see what I'm saying? He gonna say that shit afterwards. No, bro. Bro, that shit don't make no sense, bro. Come on, bro. Like, I get it, bro, but like, you talking about, you was just saying come kill me. Now it's like I ain't trying to do nothing. I don't want no beef. Niggas, bro. But he was crying though. But he was crying in the studio. He was crying in the studio though. Nah, nigga, you just caught him at a wrong time, and now he on your ass. Stupid. Like, damn, bro.
Man, y'all had it, and I got kids. I got so much going on good for me, dog. Like, it's a lot happening right now. I ain't with no copping deuces and nothing. I just ain't with it. Like, I ain't having this, dog. Like, too many people that's depending on me. Too many people that care about me. I don't need to be doing all this dumb. Like, I gotta do this for my kids and my family and everybody else that love me, dog. Like, all y'all can have it. Y'all want it, y'all can have it.
And he would go on to say in an interview with Gutter TV that he regretted dropping his death-threatening Youngboy diss.
I bet he did. What the fuck? Like,
NBA Smoke.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, even though NBA Smoke did so many views, I regret it. You feel me? Like, I'ma honestly say that. Like, I didn't want to do that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's certain shit that you gotta, I feel like that was my flaw, that song, you feel me? So, y'all saying that raw and all that, did try to do this and that. I don't even like the song, tell the truth. I hate that. I don't care how many views it got on it.
Of course he hates this fucking song. Nigga outshined you on it and he doing better. I'm not gonna get into it. Y'all know.
You feel me?
However, the beef would be reignited when
Shout out to all the YoungBoy fans out there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out boy Kato. We already know.
YoungBoy returned home from jail. Scotty Kane would post a clip to social media showcasing a long set of both bankrolls and fingernails and saying, "Get your cash, you don't get any money."
Bro, boy, get your cash up, bro, bro. You ain't get no.
This would attract a response from OG3, who posted a picture of YoungBoy with money and a caption saying what Kane was holding ain't half of what YoungBoy's holding. This would apparently prompt a response from Kane, where he said that OG3 was holding his big dog's money. Now, I couldn't actually find that post, but YoungBoy seemingly responded from the back of his Maybach, even dragging his manager Fee Banks into the situation.
I don't know what's wrong with these. Listen to my music, be on my got a free young boy it is. Say Fee, man, you better tell him I ain't got no big dogs, man. Everything in my pocket for me. Wrong with these, man. Tripping, boy, get off my. You know what it is.
Apparently, a few months later, Scotty got his chain taken, and YoungBoy would clown him online immediately after the thieves exposed that they had taken his chain.
Boy, I damn gonna take anything off my nigga.
However, something else would also happen during this beef that would appear to be much more sinister. A prominent producer for TBG, Austin on the Track, who had made numerous beats for songs made by YoungBoy's biggest rival G Money and Scotty Kane himself, as well as landing credits for Chicago rappers like G Herbo. Austin on the Track was quite literally the person who made the beat for Scotty Kane's NBA YoungBoy diss track NBA Smoke. Well, at around 7 PM on the 10th of August 2017, TBG affiliated producer Austin on the Track, real name Austin Rashad Norwood, was sitting in a car with another person outside the Ardenwood Village apartment complex on North Ardenwood Drive. At this point, somebody turned up and sprayed the car with bullets, after which the suspected shooter fled the scene in a car before crashing and escaping on foot. This would leave the passenger injured and Austin himself dead at the scene. This was a brutal assassination, with investigators being seen examining the bullet-riddled scene. But in a chilling turn of events, the body of Austin would even be left in place in the driver's seat of the car, which was towed away from the murder scene, with detectives claiming that the entire car with the body inside it had become a crime scene and would need to be moved with the body to a controlled environment so that they could process all of the DNA evidence. Police would ultimately describe the murder as a suspected robbery, with cops claiming that Austin and his cousin had gone to an address to sell a cell phone that they had advertised online, a situation described on the news as a setup.
A man is shot and killed while trying to sell a phone on North Ardenwood Drive last night.
2 men shot after police say they were lured to the Ardenwood Village apartments in hopes of selling a cell phone to someone they met online. At some point, that transaction taking a dark turn.
While there, the individuals attempted to rob them, shot into the vehicle, striking both victims.
With the victims left for dead inside the car, the suspected shooter allegedly took off. Sergeant Elgin McNeely says for now, it's unclear if whoever pulled the trigger acted alone.
We're just keeping it open-ended and not gonna dictate if it's 1 or 2 or 3, 4 different suspects, but as the investigation continues, we'll determine all the individuals that was involved.
Now, as far as I was able to find out, this murder was never solved. And once again, let me make it very clear, there's nothing connecting YoungBoy or the NBA crew to this crime, but it's certainly yet another case of somebody involved closely in the rap scene in Baton Rouge, in this case, the producer of prominent YoungBoy diss tracks, who seemingly wound up losing his life in a brutal gangland-style slaying, with the police none the wiser as to who was responsible. A month after this brutal murder, in September, it was believed that Scotty Kane and YoungBoy would finally squash their beef, after Scotty Kane posted a picture of them together on a FaceTime call, along with a caption suggesting that they were on positive terms and both focused on earning money and success rather than beef. Though it would seem that the NBA crew would eventually have the last laugh, as many years later, Scotty Kane would get a taste of his own medicine. He himself ultimately wound up getting jumped on camera in a studio, just like YoungBoy did. And
OG3... That's fucked up. They did, bro. Greasy. They said, oh, alright, bet you was talking shit, huh? Alright. I'm on that.
Would later even be seen on social media with the person who had allegedly jumped Kane. Fortunately for Youngboy, the Scotty Kane beef would be resolved without anyone losing their life. Sadly, however, not everyone would be so lucky. The most prominent beef that Youngboy was involved in during his rise to fame was with G Money. Real name Garrett Burton, he was a former friend and a star over at Youngboy's former label, TBG. Youngboy's other biggest opposition, Scotty Kane, would release the scathing Youngboy diss track NBA Smoke just days after Youngboy's cousin Boozilla got killed. And while Youngboy ended up in jail on attempted murder charges for attempting to avenge Boozilla, G Money was linking up with Youngboy's ops and building alliances to diss him. In January 2017,
I bet money it won't even NBA like goddamn idea. I bet you it was Ben and them. Them niggas like, oh yeah, you was that little boy talking shit. How they be talking? You was that little boy. Nah. He was definitely though. They was definitely on his ass. As soon like they was on his ass.
G Money linked up with Pablo El Chapo, one of the people who'd been in the studio when Scotty Kane allegedly stuck up Youngboy with a gun and made him cry. They would collaborate on a new Youngboy diss titled WNBA Smoke, where they referred to him as WNBA Youngboy and dissed him extensively. G Money would rap saying that he will send a blitz to take out Youngboy and his team for dissing him, as well as warning Youngboy that he will kill him for beefing with them. G Money also appeared on Scotty Kane's song Ain't Gon' Ride, where G Money rapped how he heard someone dissing him, but he can't kill them because they keep posting on Instagram. When Youngboy got out of jail, he dropped his AI Youngboy mixtape, and that included numerous lyrics seemingly responding to G Money, like the track Ride On 'Em, where Youngboy seemed to say outright that he's not squashing the beef and that he just talked to the devil, as well as saying that the only way the beef is going to end is if G Money gets shot. And he would go on to rap that he's dropping a bag on him and his crew, and that they're going to ride on him and smash him. Youngboy was seemingly letting the whole world know that he was planning to pay to have G Money killed. And throughout the verses, he would make bold claims saying that he's going to get it by any means and that the beef is never getting squashed. He would claim that his rising fame had his rivals mad, and saying that somebody is going to get their head bust for making a diss song about him. Youngboy would also claim to be the reason that their friend got killed, going on to rap that somebody shot up his grandmother's house with a .22, but his shooters got back and sent the ops a special delivery from Youngboy. Now, it's unclear exactly who Youngboy is talking about having had killed here, but it could have something to do with a rumor that members from a TBG-affiliated crew called TMH, or Too Many Hitters, shot up Youngboy's grandmother's house, with TMH32 later denying having shot up Youngboy's grandmother's house in his song FAN. Anyway, clearly G Money wasn't scared of Youngboy's counter-threats, so he would decide to turn the disrespect up to a whole new level. On August the 15th, 2017, a sensational interview emerged where G Money seemed to be talking extremely recklessly about Youngboy, suggesting that they used to be homies, but pointing the finger at Youngboy, saying that he started sneak dissing him once he became successful.
So, I mean, do y'all have history? Were y'all ever cool, years prior?
Yeah, that like my little partner, he used to be like my little brother. He stayed with me and everything. Everything was still all good until he started, like doing his own thing, getting him a little buzz, getting a little money. He just got the big head and just started like the feelings he been feeling probably deep down inside that he was scared to put out. He let that out once he got a name and got from down here.
And then G Money
ain't gonna cap. He probably right about that shit. I ain't even gonna lie to you. He probably right about a little bit about that. Cause like he said, cause I remember they said something about him fucking his sister. I'm like, damn. He probably ain't say nothing, but like you could have said something. But it don't matter, even if it was. Even if so, like, what was that gonna do if he said something? Like, it would have just made it worse. Like, and then niggas would have been on his back, and then he wouldn't have had time to make money. He would have been had to kill a nigga.
He dropped maximum shade.
I gotta go. I am bad, y'all.
By being very disrespectful about Youngboy's sister and saying that he'd slept with her.
He mad about his sister too, though.
See?
About his sister?
Yeah, I had her a long time ago.
Okay.
You see how he looking at the camera? You see how he looking at the camera? Because he know that's some grimy shit. Like, damn. Why the fuck it, though. yeah, he be alright. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, of course niggas gonna say shit like that, bro.
Back and forth on Instagram, with G Money making a post suggesting that he's not jealous of Youngboy because he's already rich and living where the white folks live.
Living like I'm already rich and I ain't even rich yet. And I'm living with the white folks. What's wrong with these niggas? Don't impress me, man. You hear me? I know real money, man. Don't impress me, man. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Copycat. You the next you see me do, you wanna do, but you supposed to be up though.
Youngboy would reply with his own story, asking G Money why he doesn't like him, and saying that he doesn't like G Money and he's down to beef.
Saying, nigga, what you don't like me or something like that or rap? I'm saying like, what you got something against me? Say that damn man. Don't be on Instagram that in 2 different states. You know the real. Stop playing. What you saying? Huh? I'm about beefing. What it is? You hear me? You get it. I don't you, man. I don't like you. I'm gonna keep on it. I don't like you.
G Money would reply saying F Youngboy and he doesn't care if he doesn't like him, going on to accuse him of copying his style by posting pictures with a Mercedes G-Wagon.
Much don't like a it's not. You know, for you to like, you hear me? You know what I'm saying? Just copping off a I pull up in that wagon, you go take a picture by a G-Wagon. Boy, you really my son. Stop watching me, man. Oh yeah. Get off.
Then, a few days later, G Money would officially go at Youngboy on wax with the scathing diss track Industry. G Money's diss song Industry called out Youngboy and the whole NBA crew on a number of bases. It had those lyrics that seemed to hint that Youngboy had been the one who tipped off G Money about his cousin Boozilla running off with drugs, and it had more lines seemingly confirming that he had hooked up with Youngboy's sister, putting maximum disrespect on him. He also dissed Youngboy for sneak dissing him, and as the title of the song suggested, it dropped shade on Youngboy for signing a record deal and no longer being in the streets, with G Money suggesting that after signing this deal, Youngboy had turned industry. The song also had another important lyric that seemed to confirm rumors that G Money had actually had a price put on his head. G Money even mentions Youngboy's mother, saying he can't kill him because he's Sharonda's son, indicating that G Money knows Youngboy's mother well. He also called out 3-3 and Montana from NBA, saying that they don't want beef with him. G Money also brushed off Youngboy's earlier suggestion that he could pay to have him killed, saying that he will kill anyone who tries them, ultimately declaring Baton Rouge his city. The music video for Industry also included a Chucky doll, which was actually a reference to an early Youngboy video.
I feel like if G Money was still alive, it would have been like a good feud. It probably would have been a good feud, like a good back and forth. NBA would have had some real competition. Not to saying that everybody in the industry ain't competition, but like from his own state, like he probably had some goddamn, you know what I'm saying, some good beef. And it like, well, basically not good beef, but basically like he would have got like hella publicity from it, even though he really didn't need it, of course. But still though, like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know.
Called What I Was Taught that dropped way back in September 2016. But G Money wasn't done there. The following month, he would continue to diss Youngboy, dropping yet another diss song, this time in a remix to Bodak Yellow, calling Youngboy a fake and warning him not to mess with TBG, as well as saying that Youngboy is hating on G over a woman and that he used to be TBG but switched up on the crew. G would also shade Youngboy for signing to a label, saying that by contrast, he got to where he was without a deal, as well as warning that he would be sending shooters to Youngboy's home. He would reference the NBA crew, saying that he thinks he's Steph Curry, referring to a player in the actual NBA known for his accurate shooting, and G would end the song saying that somebody tried to kill him but failed and got killed in return. It would seem for a while that Youngboy just wasn't responding, but G Money would continue to go at Youngboy and the NBA crew any chance he got. In a September Instagram live session, he would continue throwing shade at Youngboy, mentioning that a Baton Rouge rapper got hot and left everyone behind, and saying that Youngboy is scared of him and his gang.
These tell rappers in Baton Rouge be hating anyway, you hear me? These don't be sticking together down here. So what the fuck I look like?
I ain't gonna lie, he right about that, bro. Nobody in Baton Rouge like seem to work together. Like, that's one thing I noticed, bro. Everybody in Baton Rouge out for themselves. Like, they don't give a fuck. Like, what's that other nigga? He nice as a bitch. Tech. He nice as fuck. He don't fuck with youngboy either, bro. I'm trying to tell you, like, yeah, they got together, him and G Money and Scotty Kane, but other than that, bro, motherfuckers don't be linking in Baton Rouge and Louisiana. Like, I don't, from what I've seen. Of course, I ain't never been to myself, but it's, from what I see, niggas don't be linking. Niggas don't, they in it for theyself. They in it for themselves, but ain't nothing wrong with that, bro.
Do that, you ain't sticking with it. You, all these down here, man. You heard me? Most
Steph Curry, referring to a player in the actual NBA known for his accurate shooting, and G would end the song saying that somebody tried to kill him but failed and got killed in return. It would seem for a while that Youngboy just wasn't responding, but G Money would continue to go at Youngboy and the NBA crew any chance he got. In a September Instagram live session, he would continue throwing shade at Youngboy, mentioning that a Baton Rouge rapper got hot and left everyone behind, and saying that Youngboy is scared of him and his gang.
These rappers in Baton Rouge be hating anyway, you heard me? These don't be sticking together down here. So what the fuck I look like getting you? When you do this and do that and do that, you ain't sticking with it. You. All these down here, man. You heard me? Most of these head of them, man. You see it, put your head down, nigga. And I can be by myself and you can be with 1,000, man. Yeah, for real. Yeah. If you ain't with us, you can't hang with my gang. And that's on God. Ain't no banging with the gang. I ain't tripping on no dissing on none of that, you heard me? It's all good. But just remember, I was there for now. I ain't never do no fake hating like us did, you hear me?
G Money would go on to diss Youngboy's whole family and say that he's TBG until he dies.
Like on everything I love, man. You, your mama, your brother, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, whoever.
Damn.
Yeah, TBG Gorilla Gang, TBG till I died.
G would also claim to be respected on Youngboy's native Chippewa street, saying that he pulled up with his gun and that people had tried to protect Youngboy.
I ran on Chippewa, man. You heard me? I'm respected out there. You know what I'm saying? I pulled up out there with a 38 when the whole chopper trying to save a. But I ain't gonna speak on it. You heard me? Way throwback. You heard me? 13, you know. 14, 15, 16. You know, throwback. Damn, man, who got a problem with Young around here? Now Young on the other side. Ain't crazy?
He would also diss Youngboy's team, saying that everybody in TBG is a boss.
How you be how he a boss and he got a CEO and all that shit, you hear me? You know, that bullshit, they got run them. Don't nobody run nobody over here. Everybody bosses. Yeah, nothing but bosses over here. Be looking at because they got money, man. Y'all think real? Make no real, man.
G Money would even claim that Youngboy got robbed and stripped and didn't retaliate, with his goons saying Youngboy won't survive the beef with him.
You ain't do nothing about it. Boy, strip. You strip and you ain't do nothing about it. So how you think you could? So how you think you could tell me something? How you think you can go against me? How you think you can do that? You won't survive. Come on.
Clearly this was a very personal beef aimed at Youngboy and his crew, and at this point both sides have made outright threats declaring their intentions to kill their opposition. Now, it's been speculated that Youngboy's manager Big Dump might have had something to do with potentially putting a price on G Money's head. And in September, G Money would seemingly be posting disses to Youngboy on social media, all while giving clues as to his own exact location. In one video, G Money, standing outside, would claim that Youngboy started rapping and became a killer after he got a record deal.
Say, Lil, you know you ain't living like that, man. You get a deal and you done turn to a killer. When you start doing all that, man, you know you ain't cut like that, man. You know TBG been your muscle, boy. And the same you talking about usually don't live in jail, wherever they at, man. That's the same you ought to move on the city, man. Yeah, you remember Will? Yeah, Will's out there. And you remember you ran out that store, man. You know what's happening with us, man. You hear me? Real. And I'm living out shit, you hear me? Everything you got with a deal like I without a deal, man. You hear me? You know, 30 plus on my with no deal. Yeah, for real. Driving in $100,000 coupes. man. Yeah, with no deal, boy. You better stop playing and stay in your place, son.
If you watch that clip carefully, you can see a window with white bars and black shutters beside it, with the building itself having red brickwork and a black security door. In this clip, G-Money is standing in front of a recording studio at the 1900 block of Dallas Drive that TBG were known to record at. This studio was also featured prominently in the music video for G-Money and Boulevard Quick's song Set Trippin'. And this studio is the exact location where G-Money would unfortunately lose his life. On the 10th of September 2017, G-Money would be seen on Instagram at his usual recording studio working on music, seemingly recording a Youngboy diss song with lyrics where he says that your favorite rapper is a liar. At around 1:30 AM, G-Money would be found shot in front of that very recording studio that he recently went live at. Fat Chapo, who was with him at the time of the shooting, said that G-Money was caught off guard by a shooter as he walked out of the studio.
I was the first out the door. I'm the one called for help. G walked out that door by himself. I told him before he walked out the door, like, he walked out the door on his own. And they start shooting. When they start shooting, I really didn't know what was going on because I heard a boom, but the music was playing. So
I know
really,
that shit crazy, boy. Like hearing the music and then hearing gunshots. I know that shit was crazy because it's like, damn. Now you getting confused. I already know, bro. I already know he was confused, bro. Cause I would have been like, no, I ain't adding no gunshots in this bitch. I gotta go outside. I gotta see something, bro.
It was kind of muffled when I first saw the shooting stop.
See, muffled, exactly. I knew it was muffled, bro. Like, what the fuck?
I ran out the door. Nobody was still. I still never saw nobody, and I saw G laying right there on the ground. And I really ain't. Once I seen him, all I could do is call 911. You know, try to get help.
Once police arrived, officers would be seen in the dark, taping off the scene and doing forensic work, and G-Money would end up leaving the scene in a coroner's van, just like the one that he had showed in his music video Industry, where he said that he would put his ops on the news. And the following morning, the news would indeed report on this tragic killing.
Baton Rouge police are looking into a deadly shooting that claimed the life of a local rapper. Police say someone shot and killed 22-year-old Garrett Burton on Dallas Street around 1:20 last night. Burton performed under the name G-Money. Right now, police have not named any suspects or motive. If you can help police or have any tips, you can report them anonymously to Crime Stoppers.
One of G-Money's closest friends and fellow TBG-affiliated rapper Fredo Bang, in a DJ Small Eyes interview, would recount breaking down in jail when he heard the news of G's death.
I just broke down in tears, like you know how a baby cry, and you know how a baby cry just yell. I just sat there and locked up.
Scotty Kane would also react to G-Money's death, even telling followers that he was getting DMs telling him that he would be killed next.
Man, I wake up to every day, man. My partner got killed in the What the oh like that, son? Then it's sad to say, man. Talking about not even 25 yet. Like, come on, man. Like, it ain't that serious, son. Before I let you take me, dog, I'm slinging this. Whoever, whatever, and I don't care who love who, I'm going on my move.
You better, nigga. You
bro,
better.
I'm talking about I'm next and all that.
Say, bro, you better,
man,
bro.
I ain't worried about none of that.
Bro, cause like, they caught you once. Now what? Nigga, like, damn, bro. Like, you talking about you slinging that shit whenever, bro. Well, it better be whenever, nigga.
I ain't worried about none of that. Oh man, when it's my time regardless, but I ain't worried about none of that. Better stop playing with kill y'all.
See, but at the same time though, I can understand why he like that. Cause like he said, if you got a kid, wife at home, and you making money, bro, you really don't need to be in the way. There's really no need to be around the way, bro. If you making money, you got a wife and kids, bro, you don't need to be getting shot at, bro, every day. Unless you absolutely have to, nigga. Like, This shit is different, bro.
Oh, said I do not play by my life at all. I'm gonna step, yeah. I don't give, you know, yeah, I'm gonna die about it for real, you know.
The day after G-Money was killed, it seemed that fans would attend the scene of the murder, filming the location and peculiarly finding a pillow on the ground. The presence of a bloody pillow at the murder scene would end up going viral, sparking a conspiracy theory that G-Money's killers threw a pillow on him.
That's that shit when he said with the pillow, right? When he was, what's that shit? I can't even think of that song. I ain't even gonna look it up, but I already know it's a song, bro. He said something about a pillow.
After the assassination and told him to go to sleep, with these rumours being further fueled by Youngboy lyrics that came out later, like the song Step On, where he says, "Lay your bed, I throw the pillow, police after all of my people."
See,
and even in his recent single Bitch Let's Do It, where he rapped that his crew will creep up on their ops and lay their heads on a pillow.